Hello friends and welcome back for episode 65 of our Terraria 1.2 Let's Play. This is honestly the LP that lived. By all intents and purposes, this was not supposed to happen at this point. We actually got extremely lucky. Well, first we got extremely unlucky, then we became extremely lucky by a matter of events. Essentially what happened was I recorded this episode, or at least part of it, and then we had a power outage right in the middle of me recording it, which led to this save file actually becoming corrupted. And then I took to Twitter, and you guys are super awesome and gave me some suggestions. I was actually able to resurrect the file, so we were actually able to continue on in the path towards Terraria greatness. It's been a long time since we talked, admittedly. I know we've been doing a lot of, like, pre-recorded live stream style footage, which is not necessarily the best thing for the series, and I hear you out if you didn't want to watch all that. It was like, what, 10 hours or something of me grinding various parts of the game. So if you missed all of that stuff, no worries. It's really, some of it's kind of like fillery, like there's not really a ton of substance to all of it, but there were some really entertaining moments. For example, I think it was episode 6 and 7 were the ones where I had Michael A. Fox and No Architecture on, so we had some really funny times with that. So if you watch any of them, maybe just hang out for our little discussions there. But other than that, it was mostly just grinding key molds. So spoilers, in case you didn't watch any of that stuff, I do have all the key molds now. You can see probably right away the fact that I have this little gargoyle dude here. He's the staff of the Frost Hydra generates this character, and that's why I have him. So I'm going to go over some of our equipment today before we get into the nitty-gritty of what's new and what's changed and what's different. If you watched the last episode of the grinding stuff, I think that was episode 8, and of course this stuff is all in the playlist if you want to see it, or in the live stream playlist, either one. Feel free to go back and watch through any of this stuff in case you do want to see it, but, you know, no obligation like I've said. But in case you didn't watch any of that, I'm going to go over some of the equipment that I've gotten and some of the changes that I've made before we do another run at the Pumpkin Moon. I know some of you probably want me to jump into the Frost Moon, but I think I'm not quite prepared, and I've been told on a number of occasions that I want to get at least the Bat Scepter, I think it's called, to drop from one of the final-ish phases. I don't remember if I described in full on any of these episodes that I now understand exactly how the Pumpkin Moon works. It's just going to be about me executing and making this all happen in a meaningful way. So we actually have a really good run, get all the drops, hopefully, and basically make it to as close to the 15th wave as possible, which is the final one. The Frost Moon actually goes out to 20, so that's going to be even further and more difficult, so we're going to need to further optimize things. But I think some of the changes I've made will make a big difference towards improving things. I think first, before we get into all of our equipment, I want to just show you guys I made some changes over here. This is our new intermediary little cabana area, I guess we'll call it, where we can hang out in preparation for doing runs of various arena stuff. I've moved all of our preparations over to this area, which is now a bit to the right of our house. Not quite as far as the jungle or anything. I'll show you on the map in just a moment when I clear out all these stupid enemies. But now we've got this nice little arena here with a little place to sleep. And I've made even better preparations than I think we even had last time. And again, apologies if this is redundant if you watch the grinding episodes, but I think it's kind of worth going over again, because again, I don't really expect everyone to watch all of that stuff. Honestly, the viewership on those episodes was substantially lower than like any of the actual episodes of the Terraria LP, so I kind of have a feeling probably not everybody did see that stuff. So as you can see, we've got traps galore. I've put spike traps on the top that are going to drop the bouncy spike balls. We've got flamethrowers and arrow traps all in here. We've actually got 2 waves of flamethrowers. One up here on the top, and then another one down on the bottom, and then the 2 dart traps, which are both poison. And you can see there's actually a small layer of lava there, as well as 2 yellow buttons, which won't actually trigger if I step on them, only if the enemies step on them. So if I bring my lava waders into the situation, I should actually be clear to step wherever I want in there. I'm just probably not going to bother. So I've got these 5-second timers on. We've got heart statues, we've got star statues, so free mana, free health. We've got the heart lanterns, which are going to be giving me extra regen. We've got campfires everywhere. We've got the crystal ball here for the MP. Is it an MP damage bonus or an MP regen bonus? I don't remember, one or the other. Either way, it will stack. All of this stuff will stack together and results in a lot of extra sort of auxiliary damage that is going to be ticking away on the enemies and trying to make things a little bit easier for me. This is also where I did quite a bit of grinding for various things, such as the hollowed key mold made things substantially easier, having a place to hang out that wasn't so dangerous. And of course I moved the golem summon station over to here as well. I don't think I have an energy seller. I would go ahead and summon him as well. So why don't we look at a couple pieces of the new equipment that we've gotten out of some of the special chests. I think it'll be sort of a nice little celebration since we spent all this time on that stuff that maybe we can actually... Oh, look, we've got another Nimbus Rod. It's a quick one, too. But yeah, maybe we can have a look at some of this stuff and see if there's anything here that might actually be helpful. Spoilers, there are actually quite a few things that might be helpful. A lot of you have recommended that I check out this leaf blower, which actually drops from Plantera as a sort of a quick rapid-fire leaf gun that's going to give me healing when I have my Spectre gear on, which I do, by the way, have my Spectre gear on, and my Shrewmite stuff is in my social with a red dye right now, just 'cause I thought it looked kind of cool, and I thought I would try out something a little bit different. We've got a goblin army all of a sudden, so of course, now there's going to have to be a pretty big split. I think there was going to have to be a break in the video anyway, because it's night right now, and I need the full night to do a proper fight with the Halloween content. Again, I'm not really sure exactly when we're going to be getting into the Frost Moon stuff, but I'm going to try and see if we can at least get the Bat Scepter first before we plan into doing any of that stuff. Let's try another weapon here. We've got the Rainbow Gun. This was another chest drop. This one actually fires another dot-oriented or damage over time-oriented projectile. This is going to stay on the screen as long as, well, I don't know, about 5-6 seconds or so, and we'll just continually eat away sort of like a portable bit of lava on the enemy's health. So you could essentially put out your Nimbus Rod stuff. Oh, we've got a Rainbow Slime. That's another nice drop for me. Put out your two clouds, put out your Frost Hydra, then put out your Rainbow Gun, then put out a Magnet Sphere. All of these things are going to be hitting at the same time, and then stack it on with the Golden Shower for the damage, rather the defense debuff on the enemy, which, all of this stuff adds up pretty substantially, and I think there might even be one or two more things I could do, like the Poison Staff, I think would also add up on top. I really love those Rainbow Bricks, by the way. They actually are the only item, as far as I know, that have, like, an animation that occurs when it's in your inventory. What other stuff do we have, though? We've got a Keen Staff of the Earth. This is a Golem drop. Kind of an interesting one. I think this might also have some possible dot potential as well, because what it does actually just drops one of those angry boulders that bounces around and does damage. Thankfully, it doesn't hurt me. Oh, look, another one. Wow. Lucky Rainbow Brick drops. So this is another thing we could potentially have kicking around in the arena. I'm not sure if it'll hit stuff if it's just standing still or if it has to be in motion. But these are experiments that we could carry out quite easily as soon as we see an enemy, actually. Maybe one will just bounce right into things. But I think there's one more. We've also got the Vampire Knives. I just dropped my Staff of the Frost Hydra. Definitely don't want to lose any of these items. They're kind of important and a little bit difficult to grab. So if I lose one of these, it's going to take quite a bit of time to get back if I, had to. The Vampire Knives are really cool because they're really great for healing. They don't do a ton of damage individually, but if you're dealing with your Spectre gear, which I am, you're going to be getting back HP automatically, as well as by the fact that you're using an MP-oriented projectile. Is it an MP-oriented? Oh, no, it's melee damage. I'm sorry, I had that backwards. So it's not using MP, which is giving me basically a boost from that in the fact that I'm using an MP-oriented projectile with... Sorry, melee-oriented projectile with my Spectre Hood. So all of these things add up together to be sort of a nice little fusion of abilities. Is there anything else? I think that's kind of it for just that moment, but there's plenty of other options and items that I've got back at home, as well as I'm going to build a Rainbow Staff for you guys, so I know that's a thing you've wanted to see for a little while. And I guess luckily we've had these Rainbow Brick drops, so that kind of makes things work out pretty nicely. Rainbow Gun's pretty sweet. I definitely think there's some serious potential to be used on the Halloween stuff. And I am still looking for the Slime Staff to drop. That has not happened. There's still a bunch of things I need to grind out, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're done or anything. As far as I'm aware, the LP still has a good 10, 15, 20, maybe even episodes left in it. But I don't know how that's going to play out. I'm going to try and get back into the regular habit of recording this. I got a little bit spoiled by doing all the grinding and then posting the VODs because I was trying to get some other stuff on the side done that's sort of like a secret little project that I'm working on. Oh, by the way, if you take this, this is what takes you to the jungle now. So I've just added an extra step here so we can head right back to the house this way. But let's craft that Rainbow Rod, and that's probably going to require the anvil. So, oh, right, Goblin Army, I forgot. So I may actually have to end up doing that off camera, but let's at least get this in here. There it is. So Rainbow Rod, 78 magic damage, use 8 mana, cast a controllable rainbow. Sounds pretty sweet. So now we've got one of those, so we could sub it out for a Rainbow Gun. I've got so many freaking options and items now that I don't even know what to carry with me. getting a little bit ridiculous. Alright, so this is... Oh, it's like one of those fireball rods, except I can actually throw the thing at the end. That's cool. I do really enjoy one of those fireball rods. They're a lot of fun. And this is going to give me those heals as well. And can I just... Oh, no, I can't just drag it around inside of them. That would have been a little bit too easy, perhaps. But the Magnet Sphere certainly has this problem licked. There's not going to be any issues with defeating a Goblin army at this stage of the game. These guys are kind of pathetic. Like, they probably couldn't even really kill me if I just let them sit and shoot me for a while. They've been successfully outclassed at this stage of the game, I would say. But what other things do I still need to grind up aside from what I just mentioned? Also, some dungeon items would definitely be needed. I haven't gotten the Paladin's Hammer. I've gotten the shield, but not the hammer yet. As well as, what other things? Obviously the Halloween stuff and the Frost Moon stuff for sure. But then I also need to craft some of the better swords that I haven't had time to go ahead and find. So I'm going to need more eclipses, I believe, to get all that stuff in order. And I should also mention, I don't think I said this last time, this is another thing I probably mentioned in the VODs, but if you didn't catch those, I actually did manage to finally make a Spiked Avenger emblem, which doesn't have the best reforge on it yet. It's got a +2 damage. Ideally, you want +4 damage on everything, because the more damage you're doing, the more healing you're getting. And I also made those Frost Spark boots out of the Ice Gate that I was looking after for so long, and finally got one of those suckers. So this is the combination of all three of the different emblems, the Mage one, the Ranger one, and the Warrior one. Those craft together, and then you can actually take it into a 3rd level and make a Power Glove out of it, and there's one other item as well. I felt like both of those are kind of compromises, though, and I would rather keep things the way they are, unless I can create another Avenger emblem and then have a secondary one, because they all stack. So honestly, if you wanted to put, like, 5 emblems in all of your accessory slots, I guess you could do that. But it seems like a lot of work and a ton of grinding, because honestly, just getting those 3 emblems is kind of a shot in the dark with the Wall of Flesh dropping them pretty rarely. Maybe not rarely is the right word, but certainly not frequently by any means. I think it took me about 20 kills to get the 3 emblems together. And, you know, it's a kind of a not a huge boon or bonus, just having that one little bit of extra damage. I mean, yeah, it's a help, but it's not like it's going to be a game changer or anything. Honestly, I could get about as much out of all of the extra damage as I could have if I just reforged everything to get the best possible reforge options on things. And I've been trying to do that little by little, but sometimes I end up having to settle for a smaller bonus, like a +2 or a +3, just because I end up spending several platinum and not really making any headway. So those types of moments, I feel like I take what I can get and just sort of make the best of it. You know, there's still some things I need to do to make the best of all my runs. And one of those things is also going to be trying to make the best possible setup as far as damage output plus ability to grind through enemies quickly when it comes to the Pumpkin Moons, because now I've got this really unique situation where sometimes my DPS is so high that I'm actually killing things faster than I should, which is not a problem that I expected to ever have. And it's actually resulted in me having too many waves stacking up all at once. That was a pathetic Goblin army. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. Go back to Goblin Warrior Training School and stop invading my freaking world. You don't know what you're doing. Anyway, I should probably look through my inventory as soon as I clear all of these things out, and we'll see what other things I have in my chest that I haven't shown you guys yet, because there's probably a couple of things. And then we'll close out the run today with one of the Pumpkin Moon attempts. We'll see if we can get further than we have before, or at least possibly come up with some kind of extra... Oh, they took out my door. That's rude. I guess they do that. But maybe we can just come up with some kind of a drop, you know, like anything, honestly, would be fine. The only thing I've had happen, really, is I've gotten tons of the spooky wood dropping, which is nice. I can pretty much craft just about anything that requires now. As you can see, I've got 2 stacks of full 9.99, and then a 324. Let's add our rainbow blocks to our little stack here. Oh, and I got a harpoon and another banner. But anyway, we can attempt that if we get any cool drops other than the sapling, because I think that's the only one. Oh, and I've gotten the cosmetic stuff that drops from the scarecrow. Oh, and still I have to grind for the other SWAT stuff, too. Isn't there, like, a vest, and then there's also the shotgun, and then a sniper rifle. I haven't gotten either of those either. Either. So I've also got these, the scarecrow junk. I've got princess hats. I've got several rune sets. I've got the rain hat and coat. The coat only just dropped the other day, which I was pretty impressed with, because it's been a pretty long time for it not to drop. And I just got the bee shirt the other day as well, and the mining shirt, which was pretty recent. I think you guys saw me get that in some video. And then the Eskimo pants, which I don't have the full set for. I guess I'm going to have to hang out in the frost biome. Then over here, I've still got a couple of things left to make. I still need to make some more wings. There's like the burning demon wings that I still need. I picked up the jetpack the other day. I was rather underwhelmed with the jetpack, actually. Might as well demo that out for you. It looks kind of cool, but it's not going to win any awards in terms of, like, versatility or anything. So, as you can see, it doesn't fly nearly as high as the spooky wings or whatever, the web-covered mysterious wings that I was just wearing a second ago. So let's switch those back. Sort of thought it would be nice to take a moment to sort of go over some of these things that I might have passed over in haste. I also have 3 Pumpkin Moon medallions, which is nice. I'm going to probably leave like half of my weapons here just for the sake of, you know, having whatever I need at any moment. I'm probably going to do the same technique when I do the Pumpkin Moon, where I try and use MP for the first quarter or so, and then try and stick to projectile weapons. Possibly the Stinger as well, because the Stinger's freaking badass. And then I'm also going to try not to forget to use my Iron Skin potions. I did start to make potions, finally, so in case that's a concern for any of you guys, I do have a bit of a surplus of those now, various kinds. Just sort of quickly going through these, there's my picture collection, quite a few of those now. These are all of my extra miscellaneous drops that I've got. I actually have 2 seedlings, believe it or not, 2 dog whistles, extra honeycomb, pygmy staff. I'm not sure if I showed you guys that one yet either. You can probably go back and do that another time, though. And then I've even got another overflow area now that I've got another sapling and a couple of sunstones. I did craft that accessory that gives you the permanent stat bonus at all times. I'm not sure if I know what accessory I want to swap out, though, if I actually want to use that. It would be this thing here. I've got a fleeting celestial stone, which I need to reforge to give me damage bonuses to. It's a minor increase to damage, melee speed, critical strike chance, life regeneration, defense, pick speed, and minion knockback, which sounds pretty sweet. But I'm not sure what the best application of it is, given what my current inventory setup is, because I kind of really like having the ability to move around quickly. So when you take that out of things, then, I don't know, I just don't feel right. And then also the life regeneration cooldown deal, that's also pretty nice. I've also got these mana cuffs, which, menacing magic cuffs rather, increases maximum mana by 20, restores mana when damaged, and people have been telling me to bring mana potions into fights. I don't know how necessary that's going to be now, considering I'll probably be using ranged weapons as well as probably just won't really need the mana at all. One less inventory item to worry about, right? And then it's not going to take up a slot. But it does give me that +4 damage, which is pretty sweet. Oh, and that also reminds me, I still haven't gotten a sandstorm in a bottle, so that's another thing I've got to get. So accessories-wise, though, I think we're doing pretty well. We've got the majority of stuff there that I'm going to need. There's all my magic items. Not a whole lot here that hasn't been revealed. I've got the Intense Nettle Burst. I believe this was another chest item, just so you can see what that does. It's sort of another dot item. Cast this thing that's going to stay on the screen for a few moments. It's not especially damaging as far as I can tell. Yeah, it's 38 magic damage, but it also ticks over time, I believe. So let's put that back away. And we'll put our rainbow gun back. That's probably about all we need to see there. Out of my swords and melee items, you can see this is all pretty much stuff you've already checked out in the past, hopefully. Dangerous Frostbrand, Pointy Beam Sword, both newer ones. Scourge of the Corruptor, I believe this was... Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool one. I've also got this, I forgot what it's called, like a fish gun that shoots the little crazy fish that bite on everything that I can't remember the name of all of a sudden because I'm crazy. But yeah, this shoots stuff and they go and home in on stuff, and that's kind of a nice little bonus. But not probably something I'm going to really use. So we'll put that back where it was. And yeah, it's a piranha gun, that's what it's called. And the cool thing about this is if you click and hold and it grabs onto an enemy, as long as you're holding, it'll keep looking for more enemies and keep killing them. So you can get some work done that way as well, which is pretty sweet. But probably not something I'm going to use regularly because it really doesn't add up damage quite as fast as I'm going to need. And what else is in here? I've got the rocket launcher, I've got several heat rays. I've got a bananarang, I forget if I mentioned that ever. Kind of a nice little funny drop that I had from, I think it was a Blood Moon or something. One of the clowns dropped it. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it went. And the Golem Fist, which is another kind of cool one, but probably not the most practical to use. I mean, it's quick, but it has to retract each time. So I think the Paladin Hammer, if anything, is going to be the one item that I'm still lacking that I may actually use on a regular basis. But it's still, you know, it's sweet to have. Hurtful Venus Magnum, that's another Plantera drop. You know, a lot of stuff I did technically off camera, but again, if you really want to check this stuff out, feel free to watch the VODs that I have posted on YouTube. They will be right in that playlist. And I've got a snowball cannon, which I can use to launch snowballs. I don't have any snowballs in my inventory. I don't feel like going to get them. Hopefully you don't mind too much. Grenade launcher. I've got a wasp gun. Shoots bees at stuff. That's pretty sweet. I do enjoy shooting bees at stuff on occasion. And I think that's about all we're going to talk about as far as items right now. I mean, you can see everything else that I still haven't touched here. Is there anything up here? I don't think so. This is all just stuff I need to craft. These are all materials and things. This broken hero sword, need a couple more of those to do anything. Here's my potions. I've got a ton of these regular potions now. Just from fighting all these bosses so many times, so that's nice. These are all my boss summon items. Plenty of those. Probably need to start a pumpkin farm, because I'm going to need to make a ton more medallions, and eventually I'm going to run out of pumpkins, but what can you do? And here's my little dye section that you can see. I can switch out the red dye for flame dye if you want to see something a little bit different looking. Might be kind of cool as well. Yeah, I like that look. Very pumpkin-y, actually. Kind of goes with the theme, doesn't it? And I do have my grandfather clock here, so what time is it? It's 1:26 p.m., so we still got a while to kill before it is evening, and time to start our Pumpkin Moon event. So I'm going to make a break here, and then we're going to come back in time to fight the Pumpkin Moon, and we will see how we do. It's going to be pretty exciting. I think we might be able to get as far as we've ever gotten, at least, and hopefully even further. So I will see you after that, and I'll come back in a second. Alright, we are back, and it is getting to be a little bit closer to night, and I just wanted to show you, I kind of forgot before we went on to our break, that there was another thing I wanted to mention, which is the little project that was my failed arena experiment. And this is just so you can see perspective, because I actually just forgot to show you the map before of where the arena is compared to where my house is. So this is the original place that I was planning on making an arena. As you can see, it's still a forest biome. And I actually have a tree house with my steampunker girl living here because I wanted her to have the green solution for the Clentaminator, this thing here, because that way if I needed to ever get back, you know, to good status with some sort of corruption or whatever Crimson thing might be, I wanted to be able to have access to that object, and that object only appears when she lives in a place where it is a forest biome, so I had to move her over here. Anyway, this is this, like, big flat island that I had carved out of this chunk of land. As you can see, I just shredded this whole thing and turned it into, you know, not a hollowed area. So this is one of the only areas that's still left that is pretty much clean and green. There's a few areas, you know, like the underside of this, but that's not really going to do much for us in the long run. But anyway, this failed to be a really good arena. After I built it, I tried to actually do a Pumpkin Moon here, and it turns out all the enemies just want to spawn down here, regardless of how much space I give them. So I ended up just basically moving everything over. The desert seems like a perfect space to build an arena to me, because there's no pockets for things to spawn in underground, right? Because the sand, basically the way it functions, it just pushes things down. Oh, look, it's a blood moon. Alright, well, that means we need to actually get started with the Pumpkin Moon then. Long story short, though, that's the little teleporter world, and then our arena is right over here. The Pumpkin Moon should not greatly affect things, I don't believe, since we're already going to have good spawn rates anyway. We kind of just want to move things along, and this is just going to make it kind of go along faster, I have a feeling. So let's just start up the Pumpkin Moon. We'll deal with things as they go. And there we go. Scarecrow phase is phase 1. As always, I'm going to make sure I click on this crystal ball so I get the buff from it, because I thought it was a passive thing, but I was mistaken. And I'm not going to worry about the Iron Skin Potion until we're, like, past phase 3 or 4, at least. Once the angry tree dudes start showing up, that's when we'll worry about that whole situation. Right now, my biggest problem and concern is just going to be trying to get these dudes together in such a way as to kill them as efficiently as possible, and then be able to pick up as much stuff off the ground as I can, so that way we don't end up with too much stuff that's taking up my ability to get the spawns coming from my heart and star statues. Those two things are very important that I have, you know, access to them. So I'm going to need to be able to stay on top of my MP as much as possible. As you can see, we're doing substantially better than pretty much any other time already. And we've only just begun. So I'm also going to have this raining as well. Maybe we'll put them over here. You know, they're nice. They can basically function like turrets, and we'll just move them around whenever we want. So we'll keep picking up hearts, watching our health total, because the thing that can happen in this is the amount of chaos that ensues. It all kicks in so fast that a lot of the time I've found that I'll just not even realize I've just taken most of my health bar worth in damage, and, you know, gotta not be surprised by that kind of thing. But so far we're doing very, very good. I think this is a great start. Again, the run doesn't even really start until the Morning Woods show up on the scene. Once they're here, then at least we have a chance for drops, and also it gets substantially harder too. I could probably be doing more stuff to get dot damage going, but I feel like this is fine for now. We've got a decent start on things, and just the fact that we're hearing ticking constantly going on is a good sign as well. And look at the crazy orgy of damage numbers that we're seeing shooting out of everything. That's pretty much just what we want to see. You know, health is in not a great danger right now. I mean, we're gaining our health pretty much as fast as we're losing it. I am walking over my own spikes and things too often. That's not really a good deal. Kind of don't want that to happen as much, but can't always help it. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, make a mistake. That happens. Alright, so let's start shooting this guy down. Morning Wood. Oh, I've run out of MP. Okay, that's fine. We've got stars on the side here, which we can just recoup with almost instantly. I think I'm going to drop my Iron Skin Potion, so I hit B for buff on that. Gonna have to go and venture into this pit in a moment, which is kind of a dangerous prospect, to be honest. But I think we're probably filling up with so many items that I needed to do that. And actually, it worked out. I'm getting so much in return health that I'm not all that much dead, which is great. I love not being dead. Let's put another sentry down, and we'll get some more magnet spheres going. I am eating through magic kind of quickly, but that's to be expected. We need to pick up some more stuff off the ground here, too. Yeah, I lost quite a bit of health, but immediately got it back, so that's kind of the trade-off. That's how it works and how it's good. I'm gonna get some of this golden shower on everybody here just to get the damage debuff going on, or the defense debuff, rather, and I think that might help us out, although it doesn't look like that guy seems to be too affected by it for whatever reason. Alright, so now we've entered the Pumpkin phase, and that means we're going to switch over our armor in just a moment as soon as he shows up, which should be, you know, any second now. Actually, I'm just going to do it right now to be preemptively proactive, and I just tossed my Spectre Hood because I keep getting that bug where I can't change things when I'm in the middle of firing or doing an action of some sort. Alright, so now we've got ranged gear up. We've got our Shroomite armor and stuff, so we're going to get basically all of the ranged stuff that we want to have out. What would those things be, actually? I want to keep... Okay, so we've got the Mega Shark, we've got the Leaf Blower, and we've got the Stinger all ready to go. I haven't really been doing anything with the Staff of Earth, but I guess we can come back to that later if need be. I'll keep these coming down. I want the rain to be constant, and here we go. Okay, so it is now time to begin Mega Sharking this dude to death, hopefully. Not probably shooting those guys as much. So we can use these edges to make things a little bit easier on us if we need. It's nice to be able to get sometimes a higher elevation bit of land to step on for just a moment, so that way we can keep him kind of out of the fray, and hopefully have a better chance at getting him to not have our shots misdirect. I've had people recommend that I use Crystal Shot as well, which is something that I need to try out, but it will require quite a bit of farming on my part as far as I can tell too. So let's also get the occasional magnet sphere going, although I don't seem to be staying still long enough for that to really be a factor. Oh, I shouldn't be using that, actually. Yeah, let's try the Stinger. Oh god, I'm about to die. Alright, well, don't want that to happen. Stinger's a great option. It definitely does tons of damage. The thing is, it won't always connect, so we do have to be aware of our surroundings and try to get that to happen. Oh, okay, we killed a Pumpkin. That's good news. And now we just gotta finish off all these dudes down here. I don't know if I got any drops, but even if I didn't, that's just how this run works. I gotta start slow each time, and we're gonna have another Pumpkin on the scene real soon anyway. There he is. Look at that, all of those explosions like fireworks in the sky causing damage to rain down. And what's great is sometimes you can actually even get the damage to rain down underneath you to the enemies below, which is even better. Why did I take my golden shower off of here? That's actually a bad move, because I think I can actually debuff him. Can I? He doesn't seem to be turning yellow, so maybe not actually. Alright, let's keep shooting them up with the Stinger shots. Those seem to be doing plenty of damage, and I think we're doing okay for time as well. If we could light him on fire, that would be sweet too, but he never stays still long enough for that to seem to happen. And I do want to pick up all the stuff off the ground occasionally like I was before. Just keep that all rolling forward. Alright, let's start up with the Chlorophyte shot again. He is in dark orange now, so he's actually kind of going down. I think stinger shots might be a really good strategy for him. Our DPS is certainly a lot better than it used to be, especially with all of these key mold items that I was able to find and, well, not craft, I was going to say craft, but more just pull out of chests. Alright, let's get a little bit of recovery in before the next phase comes in. I want to get the clouds raining again. And do I need to heal? No, I think we're good on that. My debuff, or my buff rather, is going to run off in a moment. So I got to watch out for that too. Get my Hydra down. And let's just start shooting this guy again. Oh, we've got a Headless Horseman. Oh, that was a lot of items that I could have just picked up that didn't work. I want to get the Stinger on there as well. I feel like that's actually doing a lot of the damage. Don't stand inside of him, man. That is not right. We need a heal. Alright, I'm just trying to shoot stinger shots pretty much at anything that's around me at all. If I can get over top of his head, that seems to work out pretty nicely. Alright, watch the health. The health's getting awfully low already. Alright, that was a lot of solid connections that I made with hitting him, but I'm about to die if I take... Yeah, alright, I thought that's what was going to happen. I didn't have a lot of recourse there. It was kind of just wait it out or look for some more hearts. But still, even though that was my death there, we've still had probably one of the better runs that we've had so far. And of course, it's very important to remember that I needed to have this little health station slash respawn area. Oh, there's a lot of hearts there. I need those pretty bad. That little home is to keep the Pumpkin from heading over to my house and devastating all my NPCs. And also need to put a clock over there, too, so I can tell when I'm about to run out of time. Alright, we need to cut through all of this crap and get all the health, hopefully. Oh god, he's right on top of me again. Crap. Alright, we've entered the situation where we've got sort of diminishing returns. Is once you start out weak, you know, you only have a couple moments to start to regen your health, and then from there it's like you kind of spiral downhill, which is unfortunate. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot that I can do about it half the time. This is where I still need a little bit of work on my game. I'm not really sure how to recover from one of these moments properly. Healing would probably be a good start, right? And maybe if I could click on one of these things as well. But the hearts just don't seem to be conferring back to me in time. I don't know if I have enough time to still get another pumpkin kill in, but I should probably try. And I should probably put another iron skin on, just in case. Oh, I made it through another wave, and I'm dead again. Alright, why don't I switch back to magic gear, just in case I can use the heals to try and break out of this little funk that I've got going on. And maybe I can get in that pit also and clear out all this stuff in there, because that's probably also making it harder for me to get proper hearts back. Oh, excuse me. Dog wants to fight. Let's use another buff. I think it's just about daybreak, though, unfortunately. Yeah, alright, so it looks like that's kind of going to be the end of that one, sadly enough. Oh, yeah, look at all that stuff that just went in my inventory. Oh, there's another one of these guys. I guess we can finish him off in case he feels like dropping anything. They do have a couple of drops that can happen. And we'll just use a magnet sphere here. Oh, we've got another one. So I guess we did make it to a reasonable wave. I'm not... Oh, Pumpkin's still here, too. Wow. He's gonna disappear and just... Yeah, there he goes. I guess I actually had finished off that wave. Wait, they're all disappearing? I do not understand this thing sometimes. Yeah, I guess they all disappear with the end of each wave. So once these spike balls clear out, I will go check and see if there was anything that dropped in my inventory. Probably not. I didn't catch anything that looked too obvious. Oh, thank you. I guess the spike balls are back. Thanks, slime. Better put a slime rod in there. I'll forgive you if you do that. Spikes. I'm just going to go for it. There we go. Got some range on him, too, that little gargoyle dude. He seems to be able to take stuff out from quite a while away. So, what drops did we get today? We've got some spooky wood, cosmetic, scarecrow gear, and that looks to be that. Alright, so another run, another low chance. I knew that going into it. I am still aware that, oh, we did get a platinum, so I guess that's kind of something good. But yeah, I knew that this was going to be a factor. We have to get pretty far in tiers, or in waves, rather, before things start to drop on a fairly regular basis. And even still, when we do make it far into the waves, there's still no guarantees until you get to wave 15, in which case, then you are guaranteed to at least get a trophy, I believe, and probably at least one item. But I think you have to fight, like, multiple pumpkins when you get to that point, so I don't know how I'm going to pull that off. Maybe I'll try doing a run that's all just magic gear and see if that works out, or maybe I'll just use ranged gear on top of my magic gear. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, ranged guns on top of my magic gear. We'll see how it goes. I am still taking suggestions, of course. I still have some things I need to improve, and I will be trying to be a bit more responsive, but I think having this better arena makes a drastic difference in my ability to defend myself, and I need to find out what exactly I still need to tweak a little bit, and then things are just going to be, you know, lining up nicely. So that will do it for another episode. It's been a while before we're able to come back. So I'm glad that we got to get that out of the way, and now we can get back into perhaps getting a little bit more regularity back into the series. Again, for people who are commenting, if you get frustrated that I haven't been able to directly address your responses or frustrated that I'm recording multiple days in advance, sorry, I can't really help it. It's just the way YouTube has to be right now because of the monetization issue. They require like 2 days advance posting to get monetization approval on videos now, so, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do with that. But I am still reading all the comments, so please don't be discouraged. Pardon me, I'm losing my voice already. But I will be back with another episode as soon as possible. Another episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back for another one real soon. So have a lovely night, and I'll talk to you later.